Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be covering the OSI model. And unless you're taking a test, you'll likely not hear about this in the real world. Except for in troubleshooting, some network admins refer to layer 1 through 3. And the OSI model was originally designed to be a standard for multiple vendors to communicate data across a network. This model explains how a message moves from one host to another host across a network. The message goes down the OSI model on the sending host and then comes back up the OSI model on the receiving host. As a network admin, you'll mainly be focused on the bottom 4 layers. In fact, TCP/IP model combines the top 3 layers. Because of this, I will briefly cover the top 3 layers and spend more time on the bottom 3 layers. Now, if you need to memorize the OSI model, I personally use please do not throw away sausage. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. The other popular goes the other direction. All people seem to need data processing. I've heard network admins, again, use the layer number to describe their problem. Normally, only layers 1, 2, and 3. There's kind of a running joke that layer 0 is an incompetent user. So if you ever hear of somebody using a layer 0, they're making fun of you. Alright, so starting with layer 7, this is an application that provides the user with an interface with an application when network access is needed. Layer 6, presentation, is basically presents data. Is responsible for data translation, encryption, and code formatting. Layer 5, session, responsible for setting up, managing, and dismantling sessions between and keeping user data separate. So again, I'm not going to cover too much on the top 3 layers since they're all kind of combined. This is what the user sees after they log in. So layer 4, transport. They move messages in segments. It actually reassembles the data into a single data stream. And so once it goes down through the network and packets to the data links and frames, to the physical and bits, it comes back up in bits, frames, packets, segments, and then actually gets put back into the data completely. This is where TCP and UDP reside. The TCP is more reliable transmission. It actually creates a connection before transmitting called a 3-way handshake. UDP is known as unreliable because it does not check for errors. It's best used when streaming music or video. Layer 3 is the network. It moves messages with packets. The typical device used on layer 3 is the router, and they actually have layer 3 switches. It manages device addressing, tracks the location of devices on the network, and determines the best way to move data. This layer is where the router resides and it sends messages and packets. Layer 2, data link. This is where frames are being passed by switches. It's where the switch resides and sends messages and frames. They have 2 sublayers. One is the MAC. It defines how packets are placed on the media. And the LLC, responsible for identifying network layer protocols and encapsulating them. And then finally, layer 1, the physical. This is where the basic form of wire communication is bits of 1 and 0s, which is actually the wire state, which is either off and on. On representing 1, off representing 0. So as you can see, layer 1 uses bits over a hub. And that concludes our video of the OSI model.